Sadvaitam Savadrutam Parvanasatam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalitasmi Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Vigatpate Gopesha Govikanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrineshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Pranamani Hare Priya Panchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivajari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jayati Jayati Namanandarupam Murare Vinamita Nija Dharma Dhyana Pujariyatam Kattamapi Sakrivatam Rupinam Praninam Yat Paramamritam Ekram Jeevanam Madhuram Madhure Vyapi Mangalebhyo Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi Hare Rama Reading from Jaiva Dharma, 8th chapter. Nitya Dharma and Vaishnava behavior. So, Nitya Dharma refers to devotional service to the Lord. The activity of the soul. Service to Krishna, the eternal activity. Being in this world, sansarachar should be there, proper behavior should be there. According to the scriptures. So, young Vaishnava from Bengal so was asking questions and he said that Haridas Babaji Maharaj, who had met Nityananda Prabhu, so he answered in this regard. Is explaining basically two kinds of people, Krishna Bahirmukh and Krishna Anumukh, those who are attracted to the things of the material world. They are Krishna Bahirmukh. And those who are serving Krishna, they are Krishna Anumukh. Looking towards Krishna, and others who are in this material world, attached to these material things, they are looking away from Krishna. So that is the majority of the people in this world. So in regards to those who are attracted to Krishna, who understand the necessity to surrender to Krishna, to serve Krishna. So they have a sense of duty. They accept moral principles which are mentioned in the scriptures for all mankind. So that is from Manu Samhita. So the 10 characteristics were explained of religious life. Vriti, combination with patience. Shama, forgiveness. Dhamma, control of the mind. Asteya, abstinence from theft. Ucham, cleanliness. Indriya nigraha, controlling the senses. Dhi refers to intelligence, which means studying the scriptures and acting according to the scriptures, that is intelligence. Then vidya means wisdom, or of course it means knowledge also, but here specifically means realized knowledge. So there's jnana, knowledge, and vigyan, realized knowledge. Ultimately the knowledge should be realized. Satya, truthfulness, and akrodha, absence from anger. So the sober persons following Vedic culture, Vaishnava culture, they have sadachar, proper behavior. So here in regards to these 10 characteristics, 6 of these characteristics, determination, control of the mind, cleanliness, restraint of the senses, knowledge of the Shastras and wisdoms, are duty to one's own self. So that we have to do ourselves, for ourselves. The remaining 4, forgiveness, abstinence from stealing, truthfulness, and absence of anger, are duties to others. First explain what we have to do ourselves, and then what we should abstain from in regards to others, or what one should do in regards to others. These 10 religious duties have been described for people in general, but none of them clearly indicate Hari Bhajan. So these are religious duties mentioned in Manu Samhita, and that is for people in general. But so the devotees are supposed to be also following that. The devotees, they are exemplary in their behavior. So it is natural for the devotees to be acting properly. But these characteristics, so they are not indication of Hari Bhajan, which is ultimately most important. Prabhupada used to say that first you become a gentleman and then you become a devotee, or a gentlewoman and then you become a devotee. So we have to follow sadachar, proper behavior, and then we can be good devotees. So as much as possible we have to try to follow sadachar. Furthermore, one will not necessarily attain complete success in this life by carrying out these duties faithfully. This is confirmed in the Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, quoted in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Jivitam Vishnu Bhaktasya Varam Panchadinani cha Natu Kalpa Sasani Bhakti Hinasya Keshavit. It is most auspicious to live in this world even for 5 days as a bhakta of Sri Vishnu. Whereas it is not at all auspicious to live in this world for thousands of kalpas without bhakti for Sri Keshav. So even a few days or a few moments trying to be serving Krishna, that is recommended, that is applaudable. But for thousands of kalpas, trying to perform sadachar according to the scriptures but not worshipping Krishna, So that is practically not much use. So the point is that Hari Bhajan has to be there, that is most important. At the same time, for a devotee, so he has to make sure that he is acting properly in this world. Sadachar should be there. Should be a gentleman, Saja. A person bereft of Krishna Bhakti is not fit to be called a human being. Therefore Shastra counts such people among the two-legged animals. Srimad Bhagavatam states. So this is a very strong statement. So a person who is bereft of Krishna Bhakti is not really considered a human being, but a two-legged animal. Vashuhi Sama, that is mentioned not only in the Srimad Bhagavatam but other scriptures also. That one is not serving the Lord, one is practically just like an animal. Sadvidvara hostra karai samstuta purusha pashu nayat karuna tato peto jatuna magada grajaha. Only men who are like dogs, hogs, camels and asses praise those who never hear the holy name of Sri Krishna, the elder brother of Gata. So materialistic people, they praise materialistic people. They praise the so-called heroes, Hollywood or Bollywood below, or sports stars. But they fail to praise the Supreme Lord, or they fail to chant the holy names of the Lord. So therefore they are just like animals, dogs, hogs, camels and asses. So here, of course, these are amongst the animals. We should understand that practically the most, of course, the cow is considered to be holy. The cow is to be considered worshipable actually, because the cow is just like a mother. According to the scriptures, there are 7 mothers. One's own mother, then the cow, earth, the wife of the spirit master, the wife of the king, and a nurse, so is helping at the time of delivery of the child. So these are called mothers. So the cow is like our mother because she's giving milk. And the cow is considered to be pure. Even the cow and the urine of the stool, the cow and urine of the cow is considered to be the dung, cow dung, and the cow urine are considered to be pure. So the cow is supposed to be pure, except as is mentioned, her mouth. So the foam is coming out, so that is not pure. If a person never allows Sri Krishna Nam to enter his ears, he is like an animal. In fact, he is more degraded than hogs that eat stool and other rejected substances. Camels that wander in the desert of Sansar eating cactus. You know cactus?
Yes.
What is happening if you eat cactus? Blood will come. So there is also a well-known fact that the camel, they eat cactus and then the blood is coming and
They find it tasty.
they find, oh, it's very nice taste. And asses that carry heavy loads for others and are always harassed by the she-ass. So asses are not respected anywhere because they don't look nice and the sound they make is horrible also. And then they carry big loads. The washermen usually were using asses. Big load of clothes is there. However, the question raised today was not about what such unfortunate people should or should not do. It was only about how those who have taken shelter of the path of bhakti should behave with others. So that is the point, that the devotees, how they should behave. So they should behave nicely, and so that other people are then respecting the devotees. But sometimes devotees acting in a way which is a little awkward, and then people are criticizing devotees. Even here in the beginning, when Prabhupada came here with his disciples, so they were mostly young devotees, they did not know exactly what to do and what not to do. So then sometimes the devotees, they thought, okay, let's go to Loi Bazaar with the rickshaw. And it was not so crowded at that time. Not many cars were there, not so many people, and it was cheap. From here to Loi Bazaar, 1 rupee 50 paisa. Now it's how much? 50 rupees? 100 rupees. One is 150. So, the year before, with 1 rupee you can buy so many things. 1.5 rupee. I like bananas, like Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu likes bananas. Me too. So I used to buy banana. 12 bananas, big bananas, 2 rupees or 150. And now you cannot even buy 1 banana, not even the small bananas. How his mom made the small bananas, how much it was? 6 rupees, 1 small banana. And 1 big banana, 10 rupees. Anyhow, so the devotees, so of course, sometimes we are arguing when we're buying the vegetables, that's too much, should be this much. Little arguing is okay. Even Mahaprabhu was doing that. When he was taking from Kolavecha Sridhar, he was arguing and always asking less than the actual price. And sometimes just saying something and not paying anything. So, but that was the loving dealing at Sridhar. So, he was very happy with the Lord. Because he was a devotee of Mahaprabhu. He understood the position of Mahaprabhu. So therefore he didn't mind. So anyhow, sometimes devotees, so then they said to the rickshaw, well, we'll do one thing, I will drive, and you can just sit. And then I just give you 1 rupee or something, instead of 150. And the rickshaw was okay. Yeah. And the devotee driving, the rickshaw was sitting. But then of course people thinking, what is this? These devotees are riding the rickshaw. It should not be done. Yeah. So, because they were new and young and wanted to have some fun, but they didn't understand properly what to do and what not to do. So for a Vaishnava, it is not the best behavior. Of course, even sometimes now you see also local people who are from maybe not well-to-do families, even devotees sometimes they also drive the e-rickshaw. But as a Vaishnava, it's not the best occupation. So Vaishnava, so of course he may be also serving others, but we have to see that place in circumstances. So especially at that time it was looking awkward.
Unless it is temple's own e-rickshaw.
Right.
That can be done.
Yeah. And so in other words, they were behaving sometimes like monkeys. So that, of course, sometimes news came to Prabhupada from the local bridge buses, and so Prabhupada then had to tell the devotees how to behave. And so, and Prabhupada wanted actually a society of Brahmanas, not a society of Shudras. We're just pulling the rickshaw. The society of Brahmanas means they're studying the scriptures, they're worshipping the deities, and they may be teaching. And already, like here in India, or specifically in the holy town, so many people there were very skeptical of the devotees who were then also initiated that, and they got Brahman initiation also. So if you have a Brahman thread, you're a Brahmana, you're not riding the rickshaw, but you worship the deities and you teach. So, but of course, even at that time, many Bengalis came here who were from Brahmana family, but they just came to make money also, and they were riding rickshaw also. But they were not having devotional cloth and no tilak. Many times, and then we are sitting and then showing the Brahman thread. I am Brahmana. Then I'm telling, why are you riding the rickshaw if you're Brahmana? A Brahmana is not working for others. A Brahmana will study and teach. At the most, he may then take the occupation of, if, for example, if no qualified king is there, then the Brahmana may take the position. So in emergency, or if he doesn't have any money, he may do a little business, like Kolavesha Sridhar. He was a Brahmana, but because he didn't have enough money, because somehow he didn't have enough students he could teach, or so therefore he was selling, doing business, he was selling his vegetables and the banana leaves. Kola Vecha. Kola means banana in Bangla Bhasha. Kola Vecha, Vecha means to sell. And he was selling Kola Vecha Sridhar. But he was a Brahmana actually. But due to circumstances, so then he was selling whatever he had so he could make some money to maintain himself and the family. But then even when whatever money he got, 50% he was using in the seva of Ganga Devi. He was a worshipper of Ganga Devi also. So proper conduct has to be there for a devotee, especially if one is then initiated as a Brahmana or twice born. So Upanayana Samskar is performed, and there's the Brahman thread, and that may also be for the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas. And they may chant the Gayatri, and they may not, and in this way they may do some devotional activity, some study of the scriptures, but they may not be fully engaged in Brahmanical activities, but they may chant the Gayatri. So, but they are not really Brahmanas, actually. And you can see in our society, so it is a kind of, okay, take first initiation, and then okay, I should get second initiation. He got second initiation, I should also get second initiation. Which is okay, but then qualification should be there. So, and then it doesn't mean he's a Brahmana if he gets second initiation. He's known as Dvija, twice born. If one is taking second initiation, one is known as Dvija. But he may not be a qualified Brahmana, which is okay. But that should be understood, and in our society many times it is not understood. I am Brahmana. But what are you doing? Are you worshipping the deities? Are you doing yagyas? Are you teaching the scriptures? Then he's not a Brahmana. So then he's Dvija, he's twice born because he got the second initiation. He got the Brahman tribe and he's chanting Gayatri. So you're a Brahmana? You have the Brahman tribe? So you are? Huh? Yeah, Dvija.
Yes,
Twice born,
Dvija.
but you're not a Brahmana. But you're a Vaishnava. Trying to be Vaishnava. Okay, good. You should be humble. Trying to be Vaishnava. Not so cheap to be Vaishnava.
Yes.
In the same book, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing. So, one who is chanting the holy names, but still offenses are there, Aparadhanam. So then he is known as Prakrita Bhakta, materialistic devotee, or Kanishta in the beginning stage, which is okay. to be respected. And even one who is chanting holy names, who has Kantimala, has to be respected. But on different level. And so if sometimes he says, or somebody is addressed as Kanishta, then many times the person will feel offended, the devotee. So I'm not Kanishta. But it's not so cheap to become Madhyam. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining who is a Madhyam. And it is mentioned in Bhagavatam also, the symptoms of a Brahmana, or the symptoms of a Kanishta, Madhyam and Uttam. So that is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. So therefore the Kanishta is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Even though, that we have to remember, even though one is worshipping the deities, but if he does not know how to deal with other devotees, then he is a Kanishta. He is a Prakrita Bhakta, he is a materialistic devotees. Sometimes devotees, they were thinking, oh yeah, one is a Pujari, he is a Kanishta. But that is not the meaning of that verse. The meaning of the verse is, even though one is worshipping the deity, but if he is not behaving properly with others, he is Kanishta. But usually a Pujari, he should be at least Madhyam. Because he's representing, or he's worshipping the Lord and then representing the Lord also. Proper behavior should be there. He should know. And he should serve the Lord with faith and love. That is a symptom of Madhyam. And then he's behaving properly with others. He's loving exchange with other devotees on his level. And then he's discriminating between those who are innocent or those who are neophyte. He's trying to help them. And he's avoiding the materialistic, those who are too materialistic, those who are offensive, those who are atheistic. That is a Madhyama. So Madhyamadikari then also, so he has a taste for, when he's fixed in knowledge of the scriptures, he's fixed in devotion. He has a taste for spiritual activities, for chanting holy names. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining so that he's on the stage of chanting the holy names without offenses. So he's chanting Nam Abhas. Abhas means the reflection of the pure name. It is not that yet Shuddhanam, the reflection of the pure name. Abhas, a semblance of Shuddhanam. So means he's chanting without offenses. And so he has some taste for chanting, some recollection is there of the Lord and his activities and his pastimes and his qualities. So Namabhas. Those on the intermediate state, they are Namabhas and they are known as Bhakta Abhas. Semblance of the devotee. Semblance of devotee means not yet the real devotee. But those who are chanting Shuddhanam, the Shuddha Bhaktas, they are real devotees. So the Shuddha Bhaktas are rare. The real devotees are rare. So then the majority are still usually materialistic devotees and some fortunate souls that they are in the medium state, Madhyamadikari, and so, but even that is considered to be semblance of a devotee. So we should understand what is our position and try to improve, at least trying to be a devotee. And then we become a pure devotee, being in this humble state of mind. So proper behavior has to be there according to Shastra, according to Vedic culture, Vaishnava culture, tradition. Those who have adopted the path of bhakti may be divided into three categories: Kanishta, Madhyam and Uttam. Kanishtas are those who have embarked upon the path of bhakti but are not yet true bhaktas. Their symptoms are described as follows. So that is quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam. Achayam eva haraye pujam ya sadaye hate na tad bhaktishu chanyeshu sabhakta prakrita smritaha. One who faithfully worships the deity form of Sri Hari but does not render service to his bhaktas or to other living beings is a prakrita bhakta, a materialistic devotee. Thus it is established that Shraddha is the beach or the seed of bhakti. So faith must be there. But so also different kinds of faith. In the beginning it is lokik Shraddha. It is just ordinary faith. Like people in this world, they have some faith. But then they're not fully engaged in bhakti. They're not engaged in bhakti necessarily, or not much. So that is materialistic faith. That is komal shraddha, that is soft faith. It can be broken any time. Everything is going nice, they believe in God. Some problem, oh, why this is happening to me? I don't believe in this God anymore. I remember many years ago when I came here, there was an earthquake in Gujarat. And so in Gujarati are generally pious and they believe in God. But then earthquake was there and many people died. And so those with weak faith, so because I remember, because it came in the news and many were saying, why this is happening to us? We are worshipping God. But still, our relatives died and everything, the house is destroyed, finished. And then they lose faith in God. So that is Komal Shraddha. But the devotees have strong faith. Whatever is happening, they are still worshipping Krishna. So, but then we have to be in the association of the devotees and hear about Krishna, serve Krishna. Then Paramarthik Shraddha. Then transcendental faith will arise, which is strong. And the real Vishwas, usually it will not break. But the devotees who are properly engaged in devotional service. But still there in the Kanishthadikaris, so we can see that their strong faith is not there. But those who are more advanced, the Madhyamadikari, they will have very strong faith and determination. And that will not be broken. So we have to come to this platform of having strong faith in Krishna and the process of devotional service. One's bhakti is only effective when he worships Bhagavan with Shraddha. So that is in Paramarthik Shraddha. And it is still not true bhakti unless he worships the bhaktas as well. So we should worship Bhagavan, Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. We worship Hari, Guru and the Vaishnavas. Sometimes even devotees, they have faith in the Lord, they have faith in Guru, but they don't respect the Vaishnavas. But we have to respect Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. Bhakti does not develop thoroughly as long as he fails to do so. This type of bhakti has barely entered the doorway of the practice of bhakti. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, then Canto 84, chapter, famous verse, Mabudi Gunate Tridatuke Sadi Kalatradishu Bhoma Ijjadhi Yatirtha Bodhi Sharirena Karhichit Jane Shabikesu Sa Eva Go Karaha. So one who considers this body, this corpse-like body comprised of the three elements, dosha, vata, pitta, kapha. This body, the body is made of different elements, and so then vata, air is there, pitta, bile, and kapha, glucose. And so when these are in harmony, then the health will be good. But if there's too much vata, too much pitta or kapha, then one will not be happy. So one who considers this body made of the different elements to be his real self, who regards his wife, children and others as his very own, or too much attached to wife, children, who considers mundane form made of earth, stone or wood to be worshipable, and regards Mayavata to be a place of pilgrimage, but who does not consider the Bhagavad Bhaktas to be more dear than his very self, to be his very own, to be worshipable, and to be places of pilgrimage, such a person, though human, is no better than an ass among animals. So one has to respect the devotees. So that is the point here. Then one is considered to be a devotee. The purport of these shlokas, of these two shlokas, is that one cannot even approach a threshold of bhakti without worshipping Bhagavan in the form of the deity. If one rejects the deity form and resorts to logical debate alone to deduce the truth, his heart becomes dry and he cannot ascertain the true object of worship. So one has to respect the deity form of the Lord, which is not considered, which is the deity Archavigraha is no different from the Lord himself. And one has to respect the devotees. Yet even when one accepts the deity, it is essential to serve him in transcendental consciousness. Shuddha Chinmay Buddhi. So therefore, in order to be able to worship the deities, one has to be good in his sadhana, one has to chant his rounds nicely, one has to study the scriptures. And as a process of purification, doing Achman, chanting some mantras for purification, so that one may become situated, so one may be situated on the spiritual plane to some extent. So by doing Achman and chanting some mantras for purification. Because ultimately, unless one is spiritually situated, one cannot worship the Lord, one cannot worship the deity. So therefore the pujaris, they are doing Purvanga Karma, preliminary activities for purification. But then even so, Svadhyaya has to be there, study of the scriptures and proper behavior, and especially chanting one's rounds nicely, that has to be there. And then one can properly worship the Lord. And then one will respect the devotees also. In this world, the jivas are Chinmay Vastu. So the jivas are Chinmay Vastu. Chid Vastu. Anuchid Vastu, although they are small, but they are Chinmay Vastu or Chid Vastu. A spiritual substance is there. And Krishna is Brihat Chid Vastu. So he is unlimited and the jivas are limited, infinitesimal. In this world, the jivas are Chinmay Vastu, conscious entities, and among all the jivas, the bhaktas of Krishna are Shuddha Chinmay, the pure, endowed with pure consciousness. And Krishna and the bhaktas are both Shuddha Chinmay Vastu, pure conscious entities. And in order to understand them, it is essential to have some Bandha Gyan, which is in knowledge of the interrelationship between the material world, the jivas, and Krishna. So some Bandha Gyan has to be there. I'm not his body, I'm spirit soul. I have a relationship with Krishna. And somehow I'm in this material world, but I should go to the spirit world. I'm practicing devotional service. A proper relationship should be there with all the jivas. If one is to worship the deity with some Bandha Gyan, then one must worship Krishna and serve the bhaktas at the same time. This type of adoration and the respect for Chinmay Tattva, the transcendental reality which is endowed with Shraddha, is known as Shastriya Shraddha, faith based on Shastra. So one should have this kind of faith, or Paramatmik Shraddha. A spiritual faith is there. That means one is acting according to the scriptures, according to the injunctions of the spiritual master, who is acting according to scriptures. Worship of the deity that lacks this unequivocal knowledge of the interrelationship between the different aspects of the transcendental reality simply founded on lokik shraddha, customary or traditional regard. Lokik means of this word, lokik shraddha. So, such customary worship of the deity is not true bhakti. Although it is the first step in approaching the entrance to bhakti, this is the conclusion of Shastra. So we should try to advance more and more in spiritual life by following the process given by the acharyas, given in the scriptures. So proper conduct has to be there, sadachara. And then we engage in spiritual activities under the direction of the spiritual master. Those who have reached this threshold of bhakti have been described as follows from Hari Bhakti Vilas. Grihita Vishnu Diksha ko Vishnu Puja Paro Naraha Vaishnava Abhihito Abhigyair Ittaro Asmad Avatishnavaha Ittaro Asmad Avaishnavaha. Learned scholars have determined that the Vaishnava is one who is initiated into Vishnu mantra in accordance with the regulations of Shastra and who is engaged in the worship of Sri Vishnu. All others are known as non-Vaishnavas. So Vaishnava, as mentioned here, so he should take shelter of the spiritual master and he should get initiated. Diksha should be there, and then Vishnu Puja, and then he should worship the deities. And then he can properly advance. Kanishta Vaishnavas or Prakrita Bhaktas are those who accept a family priest out of hereditary tradition or who are prompted by lokik shraddha, worldly faith, to imitate others by taking initiation in the Vishnu mantra and worshipping the deity of Sri Vishnu. So sometimes it can be seen also. And that is quite prominent now also. So that one will do what others are doing. And it is almost becoming like a fashion. And because people, especially in Bharatvarsha and India, they know that so we should accept the Guru, we should be devoted to some extent towards God. So then they will approach sometimes anybody who is, of course, he must have some qualities, but then they are not really investigating or studying the scriptures properly, so they will not understand properly also that who is a genuine Vaishnava and what is a proper way of worshipping the deities. So that is sentimental, lokik, and then they follow just whatever everybody else is doing, become a man. And then somebody becomes well known, and then everyone will accept him as Guru. And because the majority are doing, so let me do also. But they may not inquire, they may not even follow then the principles very much, which are there to be followed. And then they may not worship the Lord properly also, because insufficient guidance is there. So that is mentioned here. So we have to be conscious, and so one has to pray to the Lord with sincerity and then take shelter of the representative of the Lord, who is the embodiment of the mercy of Krishna. Krishna Kripa Sri Murti, who is in Sampradaya. He is one Sampradaya, he should be in one Sampradaya. The four Vaishnava Sampradayas, genuine Sampradayas, disciplic succession. So the Guru should be in Sampradaya. He should be knowledgeable in the scriptures. And he should be realized also. So course, then the symptom of a pure devotee is that he's chanting Shuddhanam. Krishnaika Sharanam, he has taken full surrender, full shelter of Krishna with body, mind and words. Because in the beginning stage, the unified devotee may not realize who is an Uttam Vaishnava, who is Madhyam Vaishnava. But if one is sincere, then Krishna will help also, so that we may be then properly guided, so we are properly in association, and so we may advance, and then we may develop this Paramatik Shraddha or Shastriya Shraddha. So transcendental faith in proper association, by following the scriptures, by engaging in spiritual activities, then the faith becomes more strong with this transcendental. So such materialistic devotees are not Shuddha Bhaktas, rather a shadow-like semblance of bhakti called Chaya Bhakti Abhas is prominent in them. Semblance of bhakti. So that is also mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Chaya Bhakti Abhas. Chaya means the shadow of bhakti. So it is Bhakti Abhas. Semblance of bhakti. However, they do not have Pratibimba Bhakti Abhas, which is a reflective semblance of bhakti. This Pratibimba Bhakti Abhas is offensive in nature and is devoid of Vaishnavism. So Pratibimba, so that is a reflection of bhakti, but it is not bhakti. So Chaya Bhakti, it is superior than Pratibimba Bhakti. So Pratibimba, as mentioned here, it is not really bhakti. The stage of Chaya Bhakti Abhas is a result of great fortune, because it is the preliminary stage of bhakti and people can gradually develop from it into Madhyam and Uttam Vaishnavas. Still, those at the stage of Chaya Bhakti Abhas cannot be called Shuddha Bhaktas. Such people worship the deity with Lokik Shraddha, worldly faith. They can only behave towards others according to the 10 types of religious duties that I have already described for people in general. The behavior that the Shastras prescribe for Bhaktas does not apply to them, for they cannot even ascertain who is a true Bhakta and who is not. That power to discriminate is a symptom of a Madhyam Vaishnava. So Madhyam Vaishnava, he can understand who is a true Vaishnava, who is a more advanced Vaishnava, who is less advanced Vaishnava. Because they are in good association, because they have studied the scriptures, and because they have engaged in devotional service and have practical realization, and then they are guided by Hari Guru. So they are guided by the spiritual master, and then they are guided by Krishna in the heart. And then they will understand who is an Uttam Vaishnava, who is a Madhyam Vaishnava, who is a Kanishta Vaishnava. So the Kanishta Bhakta, they may not understand. Usually they cannot. But the Madhyam Bhakta, he can understand. What is pure devotional service, or what is mixed devotional service, as Chai Bhakti Bhas, or Kama Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, and so on. So he will understand. So, but so the Kanishta, he has difficulty. But the Madhyam, so therefore we should try to become Madhyam Adhikari. So, any question? Any question? Any question? Yes.
When you said Guru should, you were telling about the position of Guru. But if some sadhu is very exalted and maybe he has that self-realized through the name of Lord.
Yes.
So, but maybe he's not in that bona fide sampradaya.
Not bona fide sampradaya.
Might be, I mean, as per the four sampradayas.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't lie in the four sampradayas. So, other than these four sampradayas, the other sampradayas are also bona fide, isn't it?
Well, there are mentioned four sampradayas, four Vaishnava sampradayas, which are pure
Yeah.
sampradayas. There may be others,
Yeah.
so who may not be completely pure. And so we may still respect others. We should respect everyone. We should respect all jivas, even if they are not yet devotees, but we should respect them. And we understand that they are in ignorance, they are not so fortunate. They cannot understand that we are supposed to serve Krishna. So, but we still respect them as jivas. And as jivas, they are eternal sons of Krishna. But they are bahirmukh, so they are unfortunate that they have not come as a human being. The animals, what we can say, they cannot learn. We can only give them prasad, and in this will benefit them. But then the human beings, so they should try to advance in spiritual life. They should be inquisitive into spiritual life. Otherwise, one is just like an animal that is mentioned, that has been discussed. If one is not inclined towards spiritual activities. So those who are inclined for spiritual activities, they should be respected. They may be even Christians, they may be Muslims. So at least they have some inclination towards spiritual life. But then there are different kinds of Christians also.
Yeah.
And some Christians, the Protestant and the Catholic,
Yeah.
and even they don't have many times the proper understanding. So even the Christians who are really Christians are rare, and amongst the Muslims also. So like jihad and the Muslims in the name of God, they are killing innocent people. There's nothing to do with God consciousness, with spiritual life. Very unfortunate. But then there are many Muslims who are more actually focused on worshipping the Lord with a pure heart. And some of the Muslims, they are vegetarians also. And they are knowledgeable in the scriptures, and they have their spiritual practice. And so if these Muslims are respecting other religions, then they are bona fide Muslims. The Christians who are respecting others, they're bona fide Christians. But those who say we are the only one and looking down upon others, they are completely neophyte persons. So we can see amongst the Christians, there are some Christians who are bona fide, some Muslims who are bona fide, and then they may become Vaishnavas in the future. They will become Vaishnavas. If they're vegetarian, if they are open-minded, then they will become Vaishnavas. So, and then after that, those who are in Bharadvarsha and those who have faith in the scriptures, revealed scriptures, the Vedas or Puranas and Mahabharata and so on, so they are even more elevated. And then they have faith in Krishna, or they have faith in Ram, so they are more elevated. So they may not be in Sampradaya. There are many people that have faith in Ram, and they may chant the name of Ram. And many people, they have faith in Krishna, and they chant Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. I take shelter of Krishna. Krishna is my shelter. And they do something, they chant some names of Krishna. So they should be respected, and they are better than others. But if they are not in Sampradaya, then they are a little less fortunate. Because one has to be in a bona fide Sampradaya in order to make more rapid advancement. So, but then still you may see also some, they may not be in Sampradaya, they have some faith in one sadhu who may not also be in Sampradaya, but chanting the name of God. But if they are then respectful towards others, and they are humble and tolerant, then actually they may even be better than those who are in the Sampradaya and who cannot respect others, as we have seen ourselves also.
Yeah.
Even in our society sometimes.
Yeah.
We are the only one
Hmm.
who are doing bhakti.
Pure devotee.
Yeah. And they cannot respect anyone. So these are Kanishta Adhikaris. And they may not be better than somebody who is not in the Sampradaya, who is not initiated, but who is chanting the name of God.
Yeah.
So they may be then in the future, they may be coming in good association. And those who are even in Sampradaya, but they cannot respect others, then they will not make much advancement. And they may go down also. So that we have to understand. So we should be respectful. And especially those who are worshipping God and who are chanting the names of God, they should be respected even they may not be in Sampradaya. If you are in Sampradaya, we are fortunate. But if you are not respecting others and deriding others like anything, then we are unfortunate. So that we should understand. And that is happening also, that we can see that is unfortunate.
Yes, actually, I heard one lecture by Hari Parshad Prabhu
Uh-huh.
2 days back, and he was telling this, so I want a little more.
What he was
clarity.
telling?
He was telling that discussing on this is bogus and this is non bona fide is not good for us,
No.
because he is saying that those who are for taking Gayatri, we should be in any sampradaya,
Yes.
but for taking Krishna's name, there is it's beyond that. So he's saying if someone is not even in any sampradaya but taking Lord's name with all his faith, so we should respect that.
Yeah,
And he
of
was
course.
saying- Because sometimes devotees debate that this is bogus and this
Yeah,
is not
yeah,
bona fide.
yeah.
So he was completely demoralizing this, that it should not be done.
No.
Yeah.
No, we should respect anyone who is taking the name of God. That even Upadeshamrita,
Yeah.
Rupa Goswami is saying, you respect anyone who is taking the name of God.
Yeah. So Prabhuji, the question is when you read something like Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, so he was very straightforward over all this.
Bhakti Siddhanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even Prabhupada sometimes,
Yeah.
you see, so sometimes the Acharya
Yeah.
has to protect the disciples so that they may not deviate or go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So then sometimes they are strong. Just like the father. Even, that I have experienced also, and most of the people, they will know, they will tell the children, maybe not now, but previously, because previously also sometimes bad people are there, and when they're trying to kidnapping. Even in my time it was there. And therefore the parents used to say, if a stranger is there, is trying to give you some toffee or something, you don't take and don't speak to them. Because they may have some bad intention and then they may kidnap the child. So that these things are going on, and so then the parents are saying to the children, you be careful of other people. So this is actually for the neophyte devotees, that they should be careful. Otherwise they may, be deviated because they don't have much knowledge, they're not strong, and they hear somebody from somebody else and they will give their philosophy, oh that's nice, and then they think, oh, that sounds better than what I heard here or there, and then they may leave. So, like we have seen also in ISKCON, some they go here and there because they don't have sufficient knowledge that is there. And so many things may be there, but even sometimes this is also the fault of some leaders who are trying to be too strict,
Yeah.
and then because devotees, they may have some also, they want to know more
Yeah.
about Krishna, and especially because ultimately you have to come to the spontaneous platform, so they want to hear something about this. If there is always no,
Yeah.
and then they may think, why is this, what is this?
Yeah.
I cannot hear about Raganuga Bhakti, I cannot hear about Krishna's pastimes like now. So then they become sometimes doubtful, and they hear something and they think, oh, it's nice to hear about Krishna, about spontaneous platform, and then they may go there. But ultimately there's no need, but we need proper guidance also in this regard, so we may enter Raganuga Bhakti and make more advancement, because without Raganuga Bhakti you cannot go to Golok. You cannot enter Krishna's pastimes. So then we have to see. So sometimes That may be there, but if one is intelligent, he will never leave
Yeah.
our sampradaya, because Mahaprabhu has given the highest understanding of Braj Bhakti, Raghunuga Bhakti, and then Ragatmik Bhakti or Parakapit Bhav of Radha Krishna. That is the highest. So, if one is leaving, that is a little unfortunate, unless he is actually belonging to Vaikuntha, maybe, then maybe there. So that is something else. Just like a fisherman is fishing, he's taking different kinds of fish. Usually the fish, they're, or even the birds, same birds, the birds of the same feather, they flock together. So the parrots are together, the pigeons are together, even with the fish also, small fish are together. But then sometimes the small fish, and then there's a different fish, maybe bigger fish is there. So the fishman is taking. So sometimes the spiritual master is fishing many conditioned souls. And mostly by the Lord's arrangement, he will take those who belong to Braj Bhakti, to this sampradaya. But then sometimes some other fish are caught, those who belong to Vaikuntha. And then they may go to Vaikuntha, no problem. That may be there. So, but generally, by the Lord's arrangement, those who are supposed to Vaikuntha, they will go to Sri Sampradaya. Those who will go to Braj, they will go to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Like that.
Actually, one more thing related to this only. Like, I'm not sure, but I have heard that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, when he came to Vrindavan, it was his statement. I'm not sure because I've tried to find out that and I was not able to find. The statement was that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj told that I've been in Vrindavan, I have not found a single pure devotee.
Right.
Is
That he made that statement.
Yeah.
He was there in Radhakund for Brajmandal Parikrama. How to understand?
Yeah.
This means that the pure Vaishnavas are very rare. It doesn't mean there were no pure Vaishnavas there. But the statement is there to show that the very few Vaishnavas are there who are pure. That's why he made this statement. So, but he made that statement, but we have to properly understand.
Yeah.
And he was in Radhakund. Radhakund is supposed to be for those who are most exalted. And he saw that many of the Babajis were not genuine. But it doesn't mean there were no genuine Babajis. Even now, many Babajis are there, and I know from devotees who stay there also at Radhakund. So there are few really genuine Babajis. And they're there.
Yeah.
But many of them, they are not so genuine. And they have, connection with women, also illicit connection, so they are not Babajis. But they are genuine Babajis. But if you are, just like here, if you are not Madhyavadikari, you cannot really understand who is a pure Vaishnava. Kanishta cannot understand. So similarly, if you are Kanishta, you cannot understand who is a genuine Babaji. But those who are Madhyamadikari, of course, pure Vaishnavas, the Shuddha Vaishnava, they can easily understand. But even Madhyamadikari, they are experienced, and then Krishna will show them who is a bona fide Vaishnava, who is a bona fide Babaji. So, and they are there, but they are rare. Shuddha Vaishnava is Durlabh, Sudurlabh. So Sadguru is Sudurlabh and Sad Shishya is also Sudurlabh, very rare. So therefore he made this statement, because they are very, very rare. That's all. So he made a statement, but we have to understand the statement. So we have to understand in the association of the devotees who are more advanced, so then you can understand. Otherwise you will misunderstand.
Yeah. There's so much manipulation with this statement also.
Yeah. But they are there, and Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada didn't mean that there are no pure Vaishnavas. They were there, but rare, that we have to understand. Okay?